मंदिर में प्रसाद चढ़ाना, just worship God with that. I convinced a friend of mine that together let us use that money for something else. So two of us, I was 11, he was 12 or 13. We have rented a four-wheel thela, the cart, the pulling cart that is normally used by the vendors, vegetable and fruit vendors. So I was standing on the cart and my friend was pulling it, pushing it. We went to neighborhoods and I started chanting, shouting, "Congratulations auntie, congratulations Ammaji, congratulations Uncle Ji, congratulations my dear friends. Today is a great day for you because your children have gone to the next grade. And from now, their books are useless for them." And then I questioned, but think of those children who could not afford and left schooling in the middle, in between. So please bring your books and put on this card. That was quite unusual, the most unusual thing one can think of. What kind of theater was going on 50 years ago, half a century ago. Because I was adamant, I was very convinced right from the age of 5 that nothing could be achieved without an education. And the deprivation of education is a violence against children. It is not just the physical violence or sexual violence. Denial of education is another form of violence. Because I strongly believed that God has given us two things as gifts. We are born for freedom. We started learning how to call our mothers, crying for milk, a hungry child. So, learning, right to learn, right to know, is a divine right. So how can you deny it if you're not allowing millions of children to go to school? So we collected books, and many of you will surprise that within few hours I was able to collect 2,200 books. But the bigger problem was that these books, I never read the names of these books. At the age of 11, when I was in 7th grade, trigonometry, geometry, statistics, all kinds of things. Very hard to understand. So I had to seek support from some teachers, and with the help of my headmaster and a few other teachers, we have set up a book bank. My idea was never to just donate in one go and be happy that I have given something. So that your hand is always upward. You are giving something to someone. And another person who is being helped or supported. We invent new words. When we feel ourselves with a sense of ego that I have done something or other, our hand is always upward and his hand is always upward. I don't believe in that. Right from my childhood. So I said that these boys and girls can borrow the books for 1 year. And after completion, they should return the book so that it can go to the next generation, the next generation of the students. Now we have learned many phrases, sustainability, ecological issues, so the recycling and all those things. But 50 years ago, we have created a book bank. Within a month, many teachers and headmasters in my hometown joined hands and we were able to collect over 10,000 books. And I can say with proud that none of the children were forced to leave schooling because of the scarcity of books. Every child in my town got the books and people started calling me Kailash Book Bala. Bookman. Book Bank Bala. Not Book Bala. Book Bank Bala. And after the Nobel Prize, when I visited my hometown, the whole town was on the street to get it. Thousands of people. There was no place to walk. There were 2 times a stampede and people were falling on each other. Suddenly I saw that 2 old men, elderly men, were crying in tears. Most people were crying in tears out of joy and love. But 2 of them wanted to greet me. They were trying to jump on me to shake hands. But very difficult. The police forces were there and very difficult. So I noticed and I said that no, I have to stop here. I was standing on a jeep, open jeep. I got those people closer and I got down. And one of them, so overwhelmed in emotions, he came and just hugged me and said, "Oh Kailash, tu mujhe pehchana? Kailash, did you recognize me?" I said, "Sorry, I could not." He said that I was elder than you. I have left my school because my father was poor. But then next year I joined the school because I was able to get all my books from your book bank. And then he said that now I am retired as the headmaster of this school. And I tell you friends that I started crying. I was not in tears when the highest prize of the earth was conferred on me. But that day I started crying that this is the real prize which is coming out of the tears of that man, not the Nobel certificate or the medal. I felt the worth in my life. So I started, and I also tell you young friends, that now we are driven by career, we are driven by mark sheet and marks, we are driven by grades. Our joy and frustration is driven by your mark sheet, your grading in colleges and schools and so on. Your appreciation from your parents come only when you score good marks. I am not against it, but I am not the greatest believer of this change culture. When you lose all your internal potential and just confine to your mark sheet, that cannot be the mirror of your powers, your possibilities, your potential. That is much more than your marks. And we keep on losing it. We are driven by the career orientation. I come across many of the young people and I ask them in schools or colleges that, what do you think of yourself in the next 10 years? Some says I wanted to run a business from the business school. Some says I wanted to become a doctor, or I wanted to go abroad and settle down there. Things like that. But when I ask the same question, that what do you think of the world in the next 10 years? What would be the situation of the world in 10 years or 15 years time? They look at each other. So we never thought. And even when I asked that what do you think of the future of this nation, Mother India, in next 10, 15 years? How you wanted to place India in 15 years? Some people say spontaneously and just the rhetoric. Powerful nation, which we learn from our politicians all the time. The wealthiest country in the world, the superpower, the first world country, fastest economy, highest GDP, these kind of answers they give. But it is not the real answer. Because you have never thought yourself that what would be your contribution to make this society a better society, a peaceful society, a safe society, and a safe and peaceful country. Prosperity has its own power, necessity. But is it all? Sometimes I say that when we talk of India was Sone ki Chiriya, the golden bird, we normally forget that India was Sone ki Chiriya, and at the same time India was also Jagat Guru. India was not the Jagat teacher, world teacher. It was Guru. Guru is much more deeper than a teacher or a priest. Because when you inculcate the knowledge, when you learn the knowledge and you live with that knowledge, not just keep on talking and transferring to others, that technology can do much more faster and much more bigger scale than any of the teachers in the world. But how many teachers live with those things, those values, those virtues, those morals which are needed to make the society more human? And that's why that is not transferred. We keep on transferring information and knowledge. And the education is surrounded by that. So think of those things. I would like to give you a simple formula which is based on my own experience. How many of you have heard 3D technology? So now 3D technology. Raise your hands, young people. You have never been to a 3D film? Half a top? Raise your hand if you have seen any 3D film in your life or heard of 3D, three-dimensional. So not only films which have not been very, very successful, but the world has entered into augmented reality and so many other things. I've used it when it was invented, or when I started properly in technology. The Google started doing it, and the Google people put me to a small glass specs, and I could see the world. I could tell that I wanted to see the medieval age history of America, and I was just talking and I was able to see the medieval age history of America, of India. So that was there. So we live in a different world. So it is the artificial intelligence and technology. But we all live in a society which is more fragmented than ever before. Human beings are more alienated than ever before. We are connected to technology so fast. We live in the real time. The fraction of seconds, microseconds, can affect the global market, the share market. The technologists have been able to invent, and those people who are sitting in this share market and defining the economy, the camera can read their mind, their eyes, their body language, and can can send it out to a centralized place where the market forces can use that technology, that algorithm, to define that what would be the trade of the market in next 10 minutes or 5 minutes. So things are moving so fast. But in spite of that, what is happening in this country? In Bangalore, few months ago, 6 months ago, when we were marching across the world, across India, we met many children, boys and girls, who met me later on after the events. And they said that I had no courage to speak to my family, that I have been sexually abused. I felt bad, I felt awkward, but I could not speak out. It is not an isolated case of Kathua which everybody is talking about, or Unnao, or Surat, or Indore. I have met a girl in Delhi before launching Bharat Yatra. The girl was crying when she came back from police station. And she was crying and saying that I made a mistake. I feel very guilty. I was very angry, so I made this mistake. And when some of the people in police and I asked what was the reason, why are you crying? She said that I have lodged a report against my father, a 14-year, 15-year-old. And she said that last night I was very tired. I was not feeling well at all. So I told my father, I fell down on his feet and said, Papa, please leave me alone tonight. I don't want to go with you on your bed. But even then he did not spare me. And I cried, and next morning, today morning, I went to the police station. I've been facing these things for several years, she said. And yesterday was the climax, so I had to go to the police. She was not feeling proud in going to the police, but she was feeling guilt because she has gone against her own father. Is it the society which we have created in all those years? Today, I was reading in the newspapers that the accused of Shimla case has been caught by the police, and the technology, the DNA footprint, worked to trace that guy. Perhaps you know that in Shimla, in outskirts of Shimla, a tiny girl, 12-year-old girl, never returned home. Her dead body was found in jungle. So, just to console and to learn more, I invited her entire family, her father, mother. They came and stayed with me. I also wanted to put pressure on the government agencies by way of inviting them with me. I'm so ashamed to say when this father has told me that Babuji, God should not punish anyone more than what I have faced. He said that morning when my daughter was going to school, suddenly she told me that, Papa, you started thinking about my marriage, dowry. don't collect any money because I am going to become an IAS officer. She was very bright in school. And father started crying and told me that when I hold the dead body of my daughter, no father wanted to see those private parts of the body, but they were bitten by human beings. They were wolves in the face of human beings who have bitten her body at every private part. And I had to hold her naked and brought her to the car and identified her that she is my daughter. And he asked a question. While crying that, he said, I am an unfortunate father. But I asked, what was my fault? He asked that everybody is talking about India is growing and shining and so many schools have been opened. But if my daughter is not safe in school, she could not come back home. She wanted to become IAS officer. What was her fault? What is my part here? Dear friends, if you remain confined to yourself, if you feel that you can score great marks, you can do great careers, you can become engineers, doctors, scientists, managing directors, managers, and if you are not safe inside, if your children are not safe in schools, I was told by a mother, she is an IAS officer in Mumbai and her husband is also an IAS officer. Both of them are working in the government, central government, one in the state government. One day, mother found the dead body of 13-year-old boy, son, only child, on the bed. And later, police has discovered that the boy was facing sexual abuse for quite some time, and he has been scolded and threatened by the abusers that if you tell this to your parents, we will kill them. That came to know through the police investigation. And the mother asked, I was sending him in the best, most expensive school in Mumbai. I have brought costliest branded clothes for him. He was living like a prince, he said. Most expensive food in the restaurants. Whatever he liked, I did. But he is no more. What was his fault? I said, no, my dear sister, it was not his fault, it was your fault. It was your fault because you were giving every possible thing to him on the earth, taking him abroad in recreation, holidays. But have you ever sat with him where he thought that my mother is my friend, my father is my friend? Did you create that environment in home where your only son can speak out his agonies, his pains, his difficulties? What was he facing in his schools and neighborhoods? He could not speak because of there is a wall between you and him. Think of yourself, how many of your really friends of your children, giving them the best education or giving them the best food does not mean that you are a friend. Friendship begins with a sense of mutual understanding, with mutual respect. Listen to your children, listen. You keep on imposing your ideas, you keep on imposing your own suppressed desires which you could not fulfill in your life, and you are hoping, you are expecting from your children or your grandchildren Why don't you sit with your son, your daughters, and try to learn from them? And this is not the case of India alone. I work across 150 countries. These moral fabrics and social fabrics and the family fabrics are not only broken but very fast eroded. Where are you going to share the things? The politics are not going to give you so much space. You have to share with your own people to begin with your own children, your own sisters and brothers. When I am talking to you in an hour, within an hour, two of your sisters, your daughters, my daughters and sons would be raped in 1 hour. Every 30 minutes a child is raped in India. 4 children are sexually abused every hour in India. That is the official figure, but the reality is much more cruel and much more bigger. We have done a study recently and it was found in schools, in universities actually. That was done in universities. And 67% of the university going students did not make any complaint to anyone for their sexual abuse. That does not mean rape, but that means awkward touch, stalking, verbal abuses and so on. They don't speak, they don't talk, they don't complain. 67% of the girls and boys too. It's a myth that only girls are facing these problems, boys too. 4 children every hour. And 8 children go missing every hour. 8 children. You come to my office. You will see that 1 or 2 parents are always sitting. They have only hope in me and my organization. Who lost their children. These 8 children every hour are sons and daughters of someone. These mothers never celebrate any festival. No Eid, no Diwali, no Onam, nothing. Where are they taken to? They will not disappear in thin air. They are taken for slavery, for prostitution, organ sale, and other kind of abuses, pornographic purposes. Globally speaking, 152 million children are working in fields and farms and mines and factories and workshops now. When we were talking about these issues, 152 million children are engaged somewhere to produce wealth for others. 260 million children have to be in schools, but they are not. 60 million have never been to school, and 200 million left schooling before attaining primary education. This is the global United Nations movement. 1 billion children live in tech poverty. 300 million children live in those situations which they are not responsible for, the situations of conflicts and wars and insurgencies. 300 billion. If you think that Americans thought like that before 9/11, they thought that they were sitting in a safe haven. They are sitting on the island of prosperity, so everybody is safe in America. But then suddenly they realized that no, they woke up, that the problem of terrorism is not an isolated problem to one or another country. The growing fundamentalism and violent extremism may lead to a situation where the whole world is in danger. So Terrorism is not an isolated problem. 20, 30 years ago, nobody was so concerned about global warming, or 50 years ago, or ecological disasters. But now we have connected the future of the world, the vision of future of the world with the sustainability of the earth. The sustainability of human society is very directly connected with the sustainability of this planet. That concern has become quite common now as a reaction. Because when we are reaching on the brink of society, we started thinking, oh, we have to protect ourselves. Now we know that global warming cannot be solved in isolation, in solo, by one country or another, whatever rich or poor that country is. And that's why the Paris Accord was signed by everyone. India has taken an important role in it and lead in it. America had also signed, but the present President of America has withdrawn from it, unfortunately. So, just think one thing. Whichever Rishis, Munis have thought thousands of years ago, no problem in the world can be seen and solved in isolation. No problem can be solved by one person or one country, whatever rich or advanced that is. The problems are interconnected and solutions are also interconnected. You cannot live in peace. You cannot live in safety if your neighbor is not safe. Earlier saying was that if your neighbor is hungry, then you cannot sleep in peace. But today's reality is that you cannot live in peace if your neighbor is not safe, is not educated, and so on. And that goes across the world. Thousands of years ago, India believed not in the globalization of knowledge or market, production, economy. India has invented much more deeper sense. It says, Ayam Vijaya Parome ki Gadana Lakuchet Sham Udar Charitarnam Tu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Veda says, Sakal Vishwam Bhavat Tume Kiridam. जब तक हम पूरी दुनिया को एक हौसला नहीं मान लेंगे, until we consider the entire world as a nest where everybody is helping each other and caring for each other and sharing everything with each other, we cannot live in a sustainable world. We cannot create that world. If we don't believe in the philosophy of global familyhood that has been envisioned thousands of years ago, we have to go back to it. The Veda mantra says, Sangakshatam samvaradham samho manansi janata. Sangakshatam. Let us walk together, nobody is left out, nobody is left behind. It says we have to talk in one language, we should not suppress the language of others, freedom of others, freedom to express and speak. Let us talk together. And let us think together. We have to generate new ideas together. Not only a few people can monopolize the knowledge and technology and science. How can we make it of the people, for the people, by the people? Sometimes I call that we have to think about democratization of knowledge and technology, universalization of education. Dear friends, we have already globalized markets. We have already globalized knowledge, information, technology. It has its own benefits and dangers. The West has given us the concept of globalization of economy, that begin with the globalization of markets and economy so that it can flow freely. But India, being once Jagat Guru, the Guru of the world, should begin a new thing. I call upon to think of a new idea of globalization of compassion. Let us globalize compassion now. We cannot make this world a peaceful place until unless we do not connect with each other through the compassion. And I say that compassion is the biggest wealth that divinity has given to each one of us. Compassion is not simply an emotion of empathy. Empathy is a feeling for others. If others are suffering, start feeling the suffering of others, that is empathy. But the compassion is much more deeper and it has much more active element in it. You start feeling suffering of others and then be desperate to get this person out of suffering, to end the suffering of others. That is the applied part of empathy which becomes compassion. So we have to see, we have to learn that the wealth of compassion should not remain confined to our biological siblings, our children, our neighbors' children, or sometimes our friends' children. This is very narrow. You have been given, you have been born with an ocean of compassion. So let us try to connect with it. So when I was asking 3D, I am going to conclude with those 3Ds. This is not the visual 3Ds, this is much more internal 3Ds. Young people, when I was in your age, I was not a saint, I was a naughty boy and creating a lot of problems to many people who were doing wrongs in the society at the age of 15, 16, 20, 25. 25 was too late because by the time I was married, so I had to live with my wife. So the life changed after that. But my first D which I learned, first D is dream. If you are allowed to dream, why you dream small? Dream big, dream bigger, dream biggest. If you are allowed to dream and I ask you what you wanted to become, you can say I wanted to become a professor. Why professor? Why don't you want to become the chancellor of the university? And why chancellor? Why don't you become, cannot you dream to become a Nobel laureate in science, just a professor? You can think of big and the biggest. If you are going to join the politics, don't think of becoming a corporate, what they call the corporation member or MLA. Dream to become the Prime Minister of India or the President of India. Dream big. But those who dream for themselves and do not dream for others, do not dream for the nation, do not dream for the humanity, they can never create a history of righteousness, history of justice. The history of righteousness and justice is created only by them who dream for themselves but definitely dream for the society. So dream big and dream no matter. This is my first D. The second D is discover. Discover the power within you. As I said before, that your power should not remain confined and should not be mirrored in your mark sheet or in your career or your appointment letters. Discover the inner power. Why were you born? Why are you different from animals? Every single human being is born with some purpose, which we lose, which we don't think. We always look for small purposes of life, small objects of life. Why God has given you the birth? The animals are born, birds are born, but you are born with a purpose. Try to find that purpose by way of discovering the power within you. Every normal, ordinary person can make the change. I read the history of some of the greatest reformers of the world. I'm nothing in comparison to those great people. I know Nelson Mandela, I know personally so many people, Desmond Tutu, Dalai Lama. And my own background was very humble background. I was born in a lower middle class society, though we were not poor, but neither rich. I was living in my neighborhood that did not have electricity, that did not have water tap. I studied in a small lantern, or what we call the chimneys, the candles, in whole my childhood, until engineering. Before engineering, the electricity came in my neighborhood. My father was an ordinary policeman, and he passed away when I was a child, young. My mother was a widowed mother, and she was highly depending on the pension of my father, and she has to sell her ornament for my studies in engineering. So you can imagine. But I never thought that I have just that limited capacity, or have just that limited potential. I could think big, dream big, and I could discover some power in myself. That is possible with each one of you. That is possible. So discover inner power and discover opportunities outside you. The world is full with opportunities. Of course, it is full with dangers, challenges, but it is also full with opportunities. Try to celebrate small successes. Sometimes when we think of big success, once those big successes are attained, only then you will celebrate and be happy. But every day you can find one reason at least to be happy. You can find at least one reason in a week to have party on weekdays, weekends sometime. You can go and have party, dance, join, enjoy. But not without reason. The reason should be one small accomplishment in your life or the lives of your friends. So look for external opportunities. And finally, the third D, when you can dream, when you can discover, then don't wait. Don't wait that somebody will come from heaven and help you. An avatar, a god, a prophet will come and change your life and the lives of other people. I am a strong God believer, but I don't go to any temple or any mosque to beg something from the God. What I beg from my God inside me, to give me courage, to give me inner power, to give me truth, to give me a strong sense of justice, to make me humble. Then I beg from the God. I never begged anything from the God. So if you think that the God will give you good career, good wife, good girl, good boy, wrong. It's not going to happen. If a Pandit, a Pujari he is a thug actually if he is telling you that I am going to make your life better by doing something. One of them was sentenced for life yesterday. And millions of people were lying on his feet because he was a Chamatkari Baba. He was a man who was followed by millions of Indians, even big politicians, rich people. He had created a wealth of 10,000 or 20,000 crores rupees. because of you people, because of the blind devotees. There is a Baba, perhaps you might have seen. He comes on, he appears in the television and he asks you, or sometimes you complain that, look Babaji, my husband is not getting a good job and my son is not good in studies. Then he says that, what are you wearing today? White sari. You could have been wearing black sari, then it would happen, and the kripa will come on you. They are making you fool. So believe in yourself. And don't wait for anyone. As I said, once you dream, once you discover, then my third D is do. Act. Act. The history was never created by those who just clap on the fringes, sitting outside the ring and say that, oh, great work has been done by Kailash Satyarthi. We are proud of you being the first Indian to become the Nobel Peace Laureate, the first Indian born. They see, I'm not very happy about it. Don't just praise others. Do something else. Go deeper. History is created by those who have courage to jump inside the ring without worrying for their failure or without aspiring too much for their success. Go with a strong commitment, jump into the ring. Only then you can create the history of a better society. So you remember what were my 3 Ds? What was the first D? Itna dheere yaar had ho gayi. I can speak louder even without this microphone. And I am 60 plus and you are below 30. What was my first D? Second? Discuss. And third? If you can still dream, you can never become old. Those who can still dream, those who can have courage to question the surroundings, they will never become old. The old people are those who think that they have found answers to everything. They know everything, they are dead. Why are they living in the world if they were able to find answers to everything? So keep on questioning, keep on dreaming. So speak loudly, all 3 Ds together. I am so proud that the girls have outnumbered the boys here. The number of girls are more in this school. And I can also see that the girls were saying dream, discover, do, and the boys were quiet. I dream such a society where everything is controlled by the power of women and girls. Boys kept on, man kept on talking and dictating everything for 5,000 years. This is the time of girls. And I was told by the General Secretary Ji that more than 60%, rather 65, 67% of your staff and professors, teachers are women. It's true. It's great. So girls have to speak loudly so that the boys should keep quiet forever. Dream, discover, do. Say loudly. Little more louder, otherwise boys will be louder. What are those 3 Ds? And the boys? Try a little bit. Who is louder? Girls are louder. So I would stop here with a brilliant story. I started with the story of Nobel Prize, and I will stop here. When I was invited to receive the prize and deliver the Nobel acceptance speech in Oslo, I lost my papers. So I was carrying my notes, and I was told in advance by the Nobel Committee that please write a full speech. Every Nobel laureate writes the full speech, and then this speech becomes a huge wealth for the history, and thousands of people do PhD on the peace acceptance speeches, and it goes on and on. Those who have delivered a peace speech 30 years ago, 50 years ago, people are still doing PhD on that. Awesome sentences of that speech. So they insist that you have to write a speech. So I noted down some speaking points and a speech I gave to them, but I'm not used to it to read the things, so I lost. So when I was standing on the dais, and I said that I'm sorry that my papers are missing, some papers, and the real paper with the points written. So the whole people were very nervous. The king, queen, president, the prime minister, not the president, and all ministers, several people from different parts of the world were sitting and watching. And millions of people, hundreds of millions of people were watching live. But as you know that Nobel Peace Acceptance speech is the second most watched event in the media. Not only that day, but later on it goes on and on. Second highest. And what is the first? Can you guess? I told a story which I read in my childhood, and I said that now I am sharing with you the story of the philosophy of my life. There was a heavy fire broken out in jungle. All animals and birds were rushing for a safer place, including King Lion. And King has noticed that there was a tiny hummingbird flying straight to the flame of the fire. He was shocked. And he shouted, "What are you doing? Committing suicide. Look, there is a fire." She answered, "Sir, I am going to extinguish this fire." She said, "I am going to extinguish this fire." And King Lion asked again, "How can you do it?" She replied, "Sir, look at my beak. I am carrying a drop of water, and I am doing my bit." She said, "I am doing my bit." She does to the prince and that's to the history. When I started, almost 40 years ago, the notion of child rights in the world has not yet been articulated. The UN Convention on the Rights of the Child was adopted by the General Assembly only in 1989. I am talking about 1980-81 when I started. India did not have any law against child labor. The first law was enacted in 1986. India did not have constitutional right for education. It was a part of directive principles of state policy, but not as constitutional right. A person like me could think of organizing the march from Kanyakumari, rather from Kerala to Kanyakumari to Kashmir to Delhi, which was joined by 163 parliament members on the way, with this demand that we need constitutional change. People were laughing at me that, Kailash, what are you talking about? You are not a politician. How can you think of amending India's constitution? I said, let me march with young people. We marched. And millions of people joined. And finally, within a year of the culmination of this Bharat Yatra, Shiksha Yatra, All the parliament members who joined the march became a strong political group, cutting across the party line and demanded the constitutional amendment, and finally education became the fundamental right in India. Things are possible. He referred the global march against child labor. I could dream of marching across 103 countries, 80,000 kilometers distance, with a demand that there should be an international law against child slavery, trafficking, prostitution of girls and boys. People could not believe, but we did it. We did with internal power, inner power, which I was talking about. The power of very ordinary person, common man. 6 months, 80,000 kilometers distance. From 3 corners of the world, we reached the United Nations, and within a year, the International Convention, the ILO Convention on the worst forms of child labor, was unanimously adopted by the world. That time, 260 million child laborers in the year 2000, 260 million globally. That number has gone down to 150 million. The number which was growing up, we have been able to bring it down. So it is possible. Passivity and pessimism are enemies of our society. Indifference is the biggest enemy which is growing in our society across the world. Please, please, if you can dream a better future, better world, get rid of indifference, passivity and pessimism. Believe in yourself, young friends. I am here not just to deliver a formal lecture, because I strongly believe that there is a tiny hummingbird inside each one of you. Whenever you start feeling for others, the tiny hummingbirds calls you, and you ignore that call. When you see something wrong on the society, you feel bad, but you slowly kill that hummingbird inside you. Don't do it. When the awakening call of the hummingbird comes inside you, speak out. Stand up. Say that this is wrong. Do whatever you can do. Use your social media. Use your social media. You can do miracles by way of just putting your fingers and pushing your fingers on your mobile phones. You can be the change maker. Don't look for heroes to come. On cinema screens, when you see a hero, and many of these top actors of Hollywood and Bollywood, tell me honestly, yes, Kailash, let me be honest to you, that we are just acting. If we touch the feet of our mother, we charge money. And the people cry, that look, this big man, rich man is touching the feet of an old poor mother. But they say that I am charging. If I hug a girl or kiss a girl, I charge. But if a girl comes to me, the heroine in the film, and dance with me, she charges a lot of money. And the people think that we are heroes. No, we are not. I tell you, hero is there inside you. There is a hero inside each one of you. There is a leader inside each one of you. Don't look at the leaders sitting in the parliament houses and the leaders sitting in the assemblies. The real leader are you. Whenever you show something good for yourself, something good for your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your neighbor, your friend, you are real hero. When you do something even better for an unknown person, when you make a smile, an unknown child, you are the real hero. That is the best worship of God. Nothing is more powerful than this. Be your own hero. Don't look for others. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you all.
Nobel Peace Laureate, Shri Kailash for making us learn 3Ds, and we are sure that as with the launch of Bangalore North Science Forum, dream biggest, discover and do, we assure that down the lane your office will come to know that Seshasdripuram group of institutions are nurturing those 3Ds. We hope that your dream of seeing some of our students or the audience can reach to that level. We'll try our level best to do that. I really thank you for enlightening us with such a motivating talk without taking a single piece of paper, the same way how you did in Oslo. Really thank you so much. You have touched our heart. You are one of the greatest humanitarian and a savior and child liberator, and that too from our country, India. Thank you, sir. Now I request our Honorable General Secretary, Dr. Udeti Krishna sir, as well as Vice President Henjarappa sir, to felicitate Kailash Satyarthi ji. Dr. V.K. Atresa. Jubilee Association. For facilitating our guests. Now I request Dr. Jason Venkatesh, our principal, most beloved, supporting Kailash, to give our measure the vote of thanks.
Consider it a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. The visit of Noble Laureate Shri Kailash Satyarthi, inauguration of Bangalore North Science Forum. At the very outset, I express my gratitude to Kailash Satyarthi, the world-renowned activist sir. We are extremely grateful to you for bringing the message of compassion, for speaking about your work and about your challenges and about you faced in your mission. On behalf of Seshasdripuram Education Trust and Seshasdripuram First Grade College, everyone, I thank you for your noble gesture. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Padma Bhushana Professor Balram, former Director of Indian Institute of Science, is an eminent scientist who inspired the generation of young scientists, brought IIC to its present structure. We thank you, sir, and your gracious visit and inaugurating the Science Forum to spread the scientific spirit and temper in the heart of Bangalore. And thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your gracious presence. Padma Bhushana Dr. D.K. Atre, a former head DRDO, is an alumnus of Seshasdripuram Education Trust and Family, and he is an eminent scientist, has great dissertation, and he has a chief guest. We are all extremely grateful to you, sir, on this occasion. Dr. Ravindra, President of IAC Alumni Association, is a leader of IAS Alumni spread across the world. The association is very active in the academic and scientific world, and he is responsible for bringing the science form, and thankful you for this gracious presence. I am also thankful Pravishankar on this occasion. Thank you, sir, for his presence. It is immense pleasure to thank our Vice President Shri Hinjar Prasad to preside over this function and make this function a grand success. And behind this program, it is none other than our Honorable General Secretary Dr. O.P. Krishna sir. He is always support to us. Thank you, sir, for your gracious presence. I am also immensely thankful to all trustees, Shri Lokanath sir, Shri Gopal sir, Shri Nataraj sir, Shri Baswarajaya sir, who are present with us and make this function a grand success. And it is immense pleasure to thank all IAC former directors and others resource persons who are present here on this occasion. I am thankful to all heads of the institution who are present here and make this function a grand success. I am also thankful to Vice Principal of this college, Shri Ekambareshwar, who present on this occasion. It is immense pleasure to thank one important person who behind this. It is none other than Shri Shantanu sir, and who is a man behind, and his team worked a lot day and night to make this a grand success. I am thankful to Shantanu and his team for this great function. I am also thankful to all the teachers who are present here, and also non-teaching staff who cooperated for this function. And I am thankful to all my students who are present here. Thank you, one and all.
Now I request everyone to stand up for the national anthem.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गा गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you. Till the dignitaries go out of the auditorium, don't move or please don't crowd here and there. Just a request, trustees, please come on the dais to have a photo session with our noble Laureate, Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan. Now here are the institutions. And the last photograph with the organizing team.
Yeah. Full இது brains அது brains exposure அதிகமா brains அது
Thank you so much.